Okay, let's talk about the wellness industry. I mean, it is everywhere these days, and it's so much more than just gyms and green juice, you know? It's this huge global force that's really shaping how we all live, how we eat, how we feel. But what if I told you that this entire multi-trillion-dollar industry is operating with a massive blind spot, one that affects literally every single one of us, every single day?
First off, let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. The global wellness economy, it's valued at a staggering $6.8 trillion. To put that into perspective for you, that is more than the entire GDP of most countries on the planet. So yeah, this is not some niche market. It's a fundamental part of the modern economy, and it touches pretty much every aspect of our lives.
So here's where it gets really interesting. Where do all these wellness consumers actually live? Well, a whopping 80% of them, they live in cities. And as we all know, city life, it comes with its own unique set of challenges, right? You've got the traffic, the density, and that constant daily exposure to pollution. And that right there, that's a critical piece of this whole puzzle. And this is really where we get to the heart of the problem. It seems that for all its size and all its influence, the wellness industry has been, well, overlooking a really key factor. A fundamental piece of the health puzzle has been missing this entire time.
So you gotta ask, right? With all the incredible data we have on nutrition and exercise and sleep, what could possibly be left out? What is this massive multi-trillion-dollar industry actually missing?
And the answer? It's surprisingly simple, but it's also profoundly important. What's missing is access to real, street-level data on what people actually breathe every single day. We're not talking about citywide averages or satellite estimates. We're talking about the actual air quality on the specific streets where you live, where you work, and where your kids play.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, this is where our story takes a turn. There's a company called Sparrow Analytics, and they're stepping in to fill that exact gap. They're providing the missing data layer that, frankly, the entire industry has been waiting for.
So let's really break down the difference in the data here, because it's a huge deal. On the one hand, you have the old way of doing things. You know, these vague citywide averages, satellite estimates, generic risk maps, stuff that's not really all that actionable. But then you look at the Sparrow Analytics approach. We're talking hyper-local intelligence. We're talking street-level data. They're creating something called address-based environmental profiles. Honestly, it's the difference between looking at a blurry old map and using a high-definition GPS.
And we've got to define that term, address-based environmental profile, because it is an absolute game changer. This is a radical new capability. What it means is getting real-time environmental intelligence for a specific address. We're talking your home, your office, your kid's school, not just some generic number for the entire city. I mean, just imagine knowing the safest, cleanest route for your morning run in real time. That's what we're talking about. And this really just drives home the level of detail we're talking about here. The data is gathered and analyzed with just incredible precision. We're talking street by street, child by child, building by building. Look, this isn't just a technological leap. It is a completely new way of seeing and understanding the very environments we all live in every single day. So what does this actually mean in practice? Well, the impact of this kind of data isn't just limited to one little area, no. It has the potential to completely transform the entire wellness landscape, touching almost every single sector you can possibly think of. I mean, just think about the possibilities here for a second. Public health, it becomes way more precise. Personalized medicine, it gets even more personal. Your daily workout, it can be optimized for cleaner air routes. And it doesn't stop there. It affects mental wellness, the buildings we live in, our workplaces, and maybe most importantly, the health of our children. All of these things are directly shaped by the air people are breathing day in and day out. And this quote, it just really gets to the heart of the matter. It says you simply cannot have a serious, meaningful conversation about longevity, sleep, stress, or mental wellness without first understanding what people are actually breathing every moment of their lives. It's the foundational layer. It's the piece that's been missing all along. But here's the thing. This isn't just about selling data. For a company like Sparrow Analytics, the mission goes so much deeper than that. It's really about using this incredibly powerful new tool to help build a fundamentally healthier society for all of us. Just listen to their mission statement. I think it's incredibly powerful. It says, help the global wellness economy grow, but more importantly, help it heal. Wow,
That just reframes this entire thing, doesn't it? It goes from being just a business venture to being a public good, something focused on healing and real improvement. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? It's that a healthier, a mentally stronger, and a happier society, it might just start with something as basic as the air we breathe. But the real key, the revolution here, is finally being able to measure it right where life actually happens.
And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If you personally had access to this kind of super local data, if you knew the exact air quality of your daily running route or the playground where your kids play, would you change your routine? It really makes you think, doesn't it?